When it comes to estate planning, there are a lot of moving parts and pieces to that whole process. Certainly, one of the first steps is having the appropriate documents in place. And sometimes I'll meet with a client and they say, well, it's just been a few years. And we pull off the document and sure enough, it's been like 15 years since they've updated their estate planning documents. Uh, and the reason is really pretty obvious. Obviously, none of us want to think about dying or passing away or becoming incapacitated or any of those things. However, when you consider your family, your loved ones, your friends, whomever it is that's going to have to come in after you're no longer here, having plans in place helps it be easy on them. It prevents them hopefully from having a mess to clean up, and and relieve some of the burden. The process when one passes away of closing out accounts, all that is it's an arduous process, and so having appropriate plans in place helps relieve that. So here are four things when it comes to one of the main documents in estate planning is a will. So what is a will? The first thing, it's a legal document that in essence gives the courts your intentions and your wishes whenever it comes to where you want your money or your assets to go to upon passing. So whether you have a little or you have a lot, the will basically tells the courts what your wishes are. So you want it to go to your wife, and then you want it to go to your children. And so, of course, the documents are more complex with that and all the legalese, right? But that's in essence what a will does. Secondly, the will provides for contingencies in that process. So what do I mean by that? Well, certainly we always hope that you and your spouse pass away holding hands at the ripe old age of 110, and you pass away together, and then that way the money can go to the kids, right? Well, in life, unfortunately, there's a lot of things that happen. Complexities come in because we are people and nobody's perfect, right? So we have situations where a family member passes away, and or maybe both family members can pass away at the same time, or there might be a divorce within the family or what have you. And so a will comes in and provides clarity around all of the potential complexities of life as far as where do you want your assets to go, not only the first level, but the second and third level as well, because sometimes that first level person may not be there, or may be unable to receive the inheritance or what have you. And so the second thing a will does is it provides for contingencies. The third thing that's important to know about a will is it does not avoid probate. A lot of times people think, oh, well, I have a will and that's going to avoid probate. So that's great. A will actually does not avoid probate. Probate is the process where the court gets involved in the closing out of your estate to make sure that everything goes as it should. It allows for any creditors, anybody who thinks they have a right to some of your estate, whether that be some sort of debtors or other long lost family members or what have you. It allows for that claiming process to happen, but ultimately it's a public process, and so a will does not avoid the probate process. It just simply gives the courts what your wishes are. And so that's why I think it's important for the fourth item when it comes to a will and estate planning is to work with a knowledgeable attorney that focuses on estate planning in particular. Some attorneys are able to work in all different sorts of law, which is great, but generally I suggest working with those that are focused in estate planning, wills and trusts and things of that nature, because they are in it day in and day out and understand how those processes work. If you are a Disney cast member, Disney does provide a benefit, a legal plan benefit, where your will is included in an overall estate planning package as far as the right documents. And so that's a great benefit for not a huge cost that the company provides. for cast members. And so you'll want to work with an attorney. If you're not a Disney cast member, still, even if it costs a few $1,000s, ultimately, having a sound estate plan is going to save your estate most likely many more times than that. And a will is an important part of that process.